storage. Let me just tell you, storage is the #1 thing you need to think about if you're getting in a studio apartment. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caira and I make videos on tips, tricks, and organization for small space living. Now I've been doing this for a while. I think we're going into year 3, not quite sure. I have heard all the complaints about studio apartments that you could ever think of. Me and my partner couldn't live in a studio apartment together because we'd be on top of each other all the time. I could never live in one room because I can't sleep in the same room I cook in. I feel like I would just get really claustrophobic in there. These are all valid points, don't get me wrong. But the most important point is, where the heck are you gonna put all your ish? I like to consider myself somewhat of a minimalist. I don't like carrying a bunch of junk around. I'm not someone who needs a ton of things all the time, but even still, your girl's got stuff. And now that I'm living in a studio apartment with a boyfriend who also has stuff, you start to realize how important storage is. Even if you think that you don't have stuff, here's some things I bet you didn't think about that you're gonna have to store. A broom, or a mop, or a vacuum, some sort of cleaning device that has a long stick. Luggage. Do you ever travel? You ever go home and see mom and dad and you put it in a suitcase? Where's your suitcase gonna go? Pots, pans, instant pots, crock pots, air fryers, blenders, food processors, the list can go on. Basically all of your miscellaneous kitchen items. You got a pet? Where are you gonna put its food? Oh, you like the holidays? Where's your Christmas tree gonna go? There are just so many things that people don't realize they have to store away until they move in a studio, and then they're like, where is this supposed to go? I just wanted to have a little chat with you and tell you how you can best prepare yourself, but also what are some hacks on how you can store the most efficiently. If you're moving into a studio for the first time, I highly recommend sit down and make a list. And by list, I mean list out literally everything you want to bring. And by list, I mean get really specific and think about all of the different areas and all of the small items that go in those areas. So when you're thinking about the bathroom, are you going to be bringing a hair dryer and curling iron and hairspray and just have a bunch of products? Or do you not really have any of that stuff and you're good to go with just hand wash, toothbrush, toothpaste out the door? If you're going to have some sort of working area or desk in your apartment, is it important that you have a place to put pens, papers, scissors? Do you have a bunch of tech equipment? Just write down all of the things that you're thinking about bringing and start looking at it and prioritize. It will start to make you realize what you really need and what you don't. In my instance, we don't have a broom. We have a little hand duster and that works fine for me, but I knew I needed a mop. So that is our one bigger appliance that we have. Now, once you've narrowed it down, this is where it gets important. You have got to think about every single individual space in your apartment and realize how can you make the most of it storage-wise. For us, one of the biggest things was our couch. A couch takes up a huge amount of space. And in my first studio apartment, I had a chase lounge, which was perfect for me. And I was able to store my brooms and vacuums and stuff underneath the chase lounge. That was a little bit smaller and it worked well for me living in an apartment by myself, but once my boyfriend and I moved in together, we knew we wanted a couch that was going to be a little bit bigger, and we knew we wanted a couch that could pull out into a bed so that way when we had friends and family stay, they would have a place to sleep. So then you've got to keep in mind, all right, I have this big piece of furniture, how can I maximize it with storage? So we were able to get a couch where the L part actually pulls up and there's storage underneath. So in there we keep a spare heater, our Christmas tree, blankets, bedding, all sorts of stuff. We also made the choice in our living room to get this little ottoman poof, and it's just a leather poof and we're able to use it to put our feet on. It's an extra seat if we have friends over. But little do you know, the entire stuffing inside of this poof is all of our guest bedding. So there's pillows, sheets, blankets, comforters, everything lives in here, but it's all put away and then we're able to use it when we need to. But if we don't have people over that are using the bed, then we can keep it as a poof and have an extra chair and have an extra footrest. Our coffee table is awesome because not only does it have 2 drop leaves on either side, but it actually has a shelf in the bottom which we store a lot of our books in, any coffee table books we have, and then it also has a drawer which we're able to keep some games, coupons, cords, headphones, and our remote control in there. Dressers are obviously a very important place for storage, but these I really highly recommend get a tall boy dresser. So that means don't get a low and wide one, get one that goes vertically because that will save you a lot of floor space and you'll be able to store more stuff in it. Next is take advantage of corners. So we have a corner between our 2 dressers that we put a mirror in front of, and we use that area to store so much stuff behind. We have extra plant pots, soil, all sorts of random stuff back there, but it makes it so we have a place put away that we can put all of that stuff. My desk, I love having a little minimalistic desk. I didn't want anything big or bulky there, but I got this little desk from IKEA. It was $50, but the important part is it has a drawer. So that does give me somewhere to be able to put away my pens and papers and everything when I'm working. So that way I do just have a really clean area that I can focus on my work. Even with that, if you would have seen in my previous videos, I still needed more storage. I have cameras and cords and all sorts of stuff that I needed to keep organized. And so I got this little tiny side table table from Amazon. This thing was super cheap, really easy to put together, and it fits perfectly in the spot, and I'm able to put away all of my cords, products that I have to shoot for, everything like that goes in there, and it's just nicely organized. In our kitchen, we did not have much space for organization. We took advantage of our open shelving, which has been really good, but besides that, we were not given a lot of shelves. So we got this rolling island, and we could have put just like a general bar cart or kitchen island there that was more open and probably more aesthetically pleasing, but we needed that storage. So we opted for one that has drawers and cabinets on it, and so we're able to store a ton of our stuff in there. I love cooking, so one of the biggest priorities for me was be able to take all of my kitchen stuff with me so that way I can make the most delicious meals. In our closet, the biggest tip is use all of the vertical space. If you have high ceilings like we do, make sure you store stuff all the way to the top. And if you don't, just make sure you use that top shelf. I feel like that gets neglected a lot. My camera died, so if the lighting's a little different, I do apologize. Moving on, in the bedroom area, this is where you can really take the most advantage of storage with one simple little trick. Put your bed on a bed frame that is high off the ground and get a bed skirt and put all your stuff underneath your bed. Literally under our bed, we have a backpacking backpack, full-size suitcases, a full set of golf clubs, 2 huge tubs full of stored clothes. That is where we keep everything. And if you have a bed skirt around it, you wouldn't be able to tell at all, and it makes it really, really easy to store stuff away. The last real key factor into it is just make sure you are as organized as possible. The more you prioritize your stuff and make sense of where it all needs to go and what will make the most sense for you, the better it's gonna be and the less cluttered your place is gonna feel. If you don't have any sense of organization and you just shove stuff in all sorts of random places, not only will you never find where anything is, but it will probably drive you crazy and it'll feel like you have zero storage even though you could have done a much better job with it. Some easy ways to do this is just section things off and put them into different tubs. You can get big storage tubs like I have in my closet, or even just the little ones that I have in my bathroom from IKEA are also perfect for just putting things into their designated spots. Make some sort of system and just stick to it. Trust me, it pays off, and you will thank me in the end that you will have some sort of organized studio apartment that you know where everything is and you were able to make the most of all of your space in there. If you have any questions about anything I showed in my video, please comment down below. If you liked this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content you guys are liking and what you don't. And if you haven't already, of course, please hit the big red subscribe button. Also, go ahead and follow me over on my Instagram. I post a lot of small space content over there as well. And shoot me a message, let me know you're a subscriber. I love connecting with you guys. It is my favorite thing. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.